In this video, we're going to talk about some of the do's and don'ts of video marketing, which will take us down the path to some of the common mistakes that business owners are making. And then we're going to talk about the key areas you need to focus on in order to improve the quality of your videos and get results with your video marketing. So number one, don't forget your story. Now, I'm not going to rehash everything that we've already talked about. What I am going to say is do make sure that everything that you're putting out is an accurate reflection of your business. Put another way, make sure everything that you're putting out online is on brand. Okay, next, don't let yourself get overwhelmed by all the different videos you have to make and all the different types of videos that there are. Do take a day or two, or even a week or two, and sit down, develop a vision, develop a plan, and then start making your first video, taking things one step at a time. Okay, next up, don't get stuck looking at things from only your point of view. Do put yourself in your customer's shoes. Try to understand what matters to them and then create marketing around that. Now, this is a common mistake I see in the martial arts industry where a lot of instructors focus on what they have, whether it's rank or awards or trophies or even equipment. Now, this isn't something that's limited to the martial arts industry, so be careful. Don't get stuck focusing on what you have, because remember, your potential customers don't really care about what you have until they understand how what you have can help them. Next up, don't randomly and carelessly create videos. Do have a plan, and then be prepared to change, to adapt as things change in real time. Okay, next up, don't just do what everyone else is doing. Do take inspiration from what other people are doing and then learn to put your signature on things. Find your voice, because remember, if everyone's saying the same thing, no one's going to listen. Next, don't be short-sighted. Put another way, don't expect immediate results. Remember, you have to develop a plan, you have to develop a vision for the future. Where do you see your business a year from now, 5 years from now? Use that vision to invest in the work that you're going to do today. And as part of that vision, make videos that you can continue to use down the road, that you can continue to repurpose, and that can be assets for you in the future. And then lastly, don't get caught up focusing on stuff that doesn't matter. Do pay attention to the key areas that are going to help you to improve the quality of your videos and get results. So that brings us into what are those key areas? Well, number one is focus on the basics of making videos. What does this mean? It doesn't mean that you have to become a professional filmmaker. It does mean that you have to focus on some of the basics. What are those basics that I want you to focus on? Number one, learn how to use your camera. This means learning the basic settings of your camera. And this applies whether you're working with a professional camera or a smartphone. And so a quick tip is, if your phone doesn't give you access to basic camera settings, download an app like Filmic Pro that will allow you to have access to those settings. So learn how to use a camera, just the basics. Number two, learn the basics of audio, because yes, going out and buying a microphone is going to improve the quality of audio that you're capturing instantly. But there are still some basic tools, some basic knowledge that you should have that can help you now to get the most out of your recordings. And then learn the basics of lighting. This doesn't mean you need professional lights. Just understanding basic concepts can help you get the most out of whatever light you have. And learn how to compose a shot. Learn some of the basics of composition, learn some of the basics of how to move a camera and how to capture creative footage. And then once you have your footage, you need to learn some of the basics of editing. Understand the tools that are available, and also understand, as a word of warning, that just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I recommend that with this in mind, you go about trying to master the art of the cut. Most of your edits should be clean, simple cuts. There are different ways of implementing cuts. There's some subtlety to it. So learn how to implement an effective cut. That doesn't mean you can't use fancy transitions from time to time. Just make sure that what you're doing for a reason, and that those transitions, that those fancy techniques that you're using, whether it's a transition or another effect, make sure that they're contributing to the message and not taking away from it. They shouldn't be a distraction. So learn some basics of editing. And now we have a video, right? Well, there's something missing. So we know how to shoot a video. If we've learned those technical aspects, those are the key areas. Learning the camera, learning lighting, learning audio, learning how to position and move the camera, and learning how to edit, you have a video. But what's going to guide that whole process is you need to develop some habits, some strategies for developing ideas. You need ideas. Without an idea, you don't have a video. But we're not just making videos for fun, so there's one step above that we need first, which is we need to understand some basics of marketing. We need to understand marketing, some basic concepts, some of which we've discussed in this series. We also need to understand distribution, how to get our video out in front of people, how to run paid ads on YouTube, on Facebook, etc. And so that will guide the creative process, and then all of that feeds into the technical things that we discussed before. So those are the key areas that you need to focus on. Hopefully this was helpful to you. I also have a free training on my website that you can sign up for, which will take you through some of the most important lessons I think I've learned through the years of making videos and going from making really crappy videos to not so crappy videos. So if you're interested in that, head over to videographyessentials.com. If you want to see more of these videos, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be plenty more videos coming out soon.